will start with the HTML itself. Okay, so tell me about the HTML in the brief.
Okay, HTML is like a semantic programming language. We used for web development.
You use the word semantic. Now, can you just explain this?
Semantic in the sense the elements will have specific meaning. Suppose like unlike the D1 block, the elements like navigation, article, sidebar, footer, they will have some specific meaning for the content.
Yeah, exactly. That footer and emphasis for them. Earlier we don't use that particular thing in the HTML5. That is, and now now what is the doc type?
Doc type is like it will give information to the browser so that it is rendering the specific HTML version. Suppose if you are giving doc type HTML5, the browser will think that the HTML5 content I am going to render. So it is a information to the browser.
So can you tell me the difference between OL and UL tags?
Okay, OL means ordered list. Like when you give OL means the list will come with the number 1, 2, 3. Another one is UL, like unordered list. It will come with the dots.
Yeah. Let's move into the CSS part. Can you just explain the CSS in brief?
Okay, CSS is like basically used to style the HTML elements of the content.
Yeah, what is the latest version of CSS?
CSS 3. CSS 3.
No, it's CSS 4 actually. CSS 4
Okay.
But mostly CSS 3 as of now.
3.
Yeah. So tell me about in brief about the Bootstrap.
Okay. See, Bootstrap is like one of the CSS library. So there are ready-made classes are available for content alignment or making the row column. So we can import the Bootstrap from the XML and we can use it in our application.
Can you explain in brief why we use Bootstrap?
See, Bootstrap is mainly thing. One is readily available CSS for buttons, for layout, everything is already it is there. So just we have to mention the class name in the elements. Then then what else is there?
Yeah, actually the Bootstrap is the mobile first. Yeah. The mobile first website. Yeah. So taking the pages.
Correct, responsiveness.
Yeah. And moving towards the JavaScript. Okay. So tell me about the JavaScript.
Okay, JavaScript is basically used to make the web very interactive.
Can you
suppose think that I have a button, HTML button, I have a HTML button, but I want to make it some action, so I have to write a code in JavaScript so that it will perform some actions.
Can you explain about use strict in JavaScript?
Okay, strict is basically used to maintain the JavaScript code syntactically everything correct.
Tell me about the callback function.
Okay, callback function is like a function which will we have to pass a function as an input parameter to that.
Yeah, I'm sharing one code. Okay, just tell me the output of this one. The basic.
Sharing the screen.
No, I'm sharing it on chat window. You can just look at there. Okay, you can reply it there. You can see the chat window.
Yeah, one second. It is loading.
Not at all problem. Till it loads. Let's move to the next question. Can you tell me the difference between slice and splice in JavaScript?
Slice is basically used to modify the array. Okay. Splice will modify the original array, but slice won't modify the original array. It will give it as a separate array.
you explain in brief descriptive way what descriptive, what slice to and what splice to?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, can you tell this in a more descriptive way? What with an example, what is slice and slice to, what is the difference? It's just imagine I have an array of objects, okay, having a key value there, and if I do splice, what parameters I need to send, and what are parameters I need to splice accept, or what splice expect?
Okay, for the splice, you have to pass the start point, end point, and if you want to replace the elements, you can pass the replacing elements. And slice, you have to pass the start point and the end point.
Okay. What is the concept?
This concept will give 0. So we have sent something right in the chat.
Yeah, I have sent something in chat. You can just reply there only.
Okay.
So moving towards the next part, what is the difference between a TypeScript and a JavaScript? What is, first, let me come to the Node.js. What is Node.js?
Node.js is like Node.js we use for writing the JavaScript in the backend.
Okay.
For server-side scripting.
As I see your resume, you have written Ajax. You have worked on Ajax also.
Yes.
Can you just explain that in brief?
Okay. Ajax is basically we use to. This is one of the design pattern in JavaScript where we will write our code using async and await. Like the calls will be async. The calls will happen to the server in a parallel.
What is the benefit of say asynchronous over the synchronous way of calling data?
Okay. Asynchronous means the functions will execute parallelly. Okay. In the synchronous, functions will execute one after the other. So what will happen?
The next part. What is TypeScript and how it is different from the JavaScript itself?
Okay. TypeScript is a typed language. Like we have to specify. So in JavaScript we are specifying using var and let. So it can be an object, number, or anything. But in the TypeScript we are particularly specifying whether it is a number, whether it is a object, like that. Okay. So JavaScript does not have the classes, but the TypeScript have the classes, modules, all those things. And next, what is there? In browser,
to say what is TypeScript? What is TypeScript?
TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. Like it is also one of the libraries, language like JavaScript.
Yeah, it is like JavaScript. Obviously, you can use a JavaScript function with TypeScript also. But the main difference is that TypeScript is object oriented. That's why we have a classes. In Java we don't have a classes. That's the thing. We can use. Tell me about encapsulation in TypeScript.
Okay.
Encapsulation section like.
Okay. In TypeScript we have basically 3 kinds of encapsulation. One is encapsulation none, encapsulation native, and encapsulation view encapsulation abilited.
Then data type of TypeScript.
Number, string, boolean, then array, object.
It can be number object or data object, can be object also. Can you say brief about the interface in the TypeScript?
Okay. So interfaces are basically we used to use for data modeling. Suppose I have a person interface, it will have the name and age. In my code, I can directly use the person interface for returning the data or binding the data in my code.
Yeah, so interface and the class, what can we use for modeling, data modeling? Then what is the difference?
Difference is class will have a constructor, but interface doesn't have a constructor. And the class consists of this methods and variables, but the interface is only variables.
Yeah. So moving towards the Angular part. So tell me about the Angular in the brief.
Okay. Angular is a TypeScript framework. The whole Angular is built on the TypeScript. It is like a readily available library we used for our developing the applications.
Yeah. And moving back, I would like to what's the promise?
Okay. Promise will return only one value.
And what does the map and filter do?
Okay. Map is like basically suppose I'm getting some data from the backend, like array of objects. I want to modify the data. Like map is like a for loop. Okay. Filter is like it will give the result array. Like suppose I'm filtering some data, I can use the filter.
Can you define the difference between a filter and a find?
Okay. Find filter is like filter. It will return the entire array. Suppose there are 10 elements in the 10 items in the array of objects. So I have to search for one particular object. So it will return the entire particular object. Okay. Find is like suppose I want to search an item in the array, so it will return the index.
Yeah. Not index. It will return the entire object itself. Okay. So find return the object at particular object. Okay. So tell me about in the sense of performance, which is more better performer, filter or find?
I hope filter.
No, it's actually find. Find will find the first element. If the element is just imagine there is 1000 record. The element is the 400. It will just find a 400 and it will break there. The filter can't be taken down. That's the thing. Go until again. Then there is a they are playing the index data now. We use find. When they are not playing the index data, then the person name. If we are using filter on the person name, we can use a filter. But if we are playing with the person ID now, this employee ID and something like that, we will use a find. That is the difference between both of them. So moving to the next part, yeah, you said now var and let. So what is the difference between var and let?
Var is function scoped, let is a class scoped, and you can declare a variable with the same name using the var, but you cannot do it using the let.
And difference between let and the const?
Const. Okay. Const like let. The value of the let can be changed during the program execution, but the value of the const won't change during the execution.
Can you tell me about the set timeout?
Okay, set timeout is a function. It will take input parameter as a function and the time. Like suppose I am passing one function or anything inside the set timeout. So after a specific timeout, the function will get executed.
What is the set interval?
Set interval is like for a like for every particular duration, the function will execute it repeatedly.
Yeah. So tell me about the for each loop.
For each loop. Okay. For loop is basically I think both will do the same performance, same action. So like traversing through the array.
Yeah. But there is a difference between a for and for each loop. Can you just go into that? Yeah, there is a difference between a for and a for each loop. Why we should use a for loop, or where should we use a for loop, and where should we use a for each loop, and which has a better performance? which one is the better performance?
No, not sure. Not sure.
Yeah, see, the difference is for is a performance has a better performance instead of for each loop. The reason behind it, we say it as we iterate it traverses through the array, obviously, it is the right. But the thing is that a for each you can't break it. You can't use a return, you can't break it. For each is going to iterate the whole array. It's not going to break anywhere. In for loop, if you get some specific data, you can just break it. Okay. See, if the 5,000 data and 800 are relevant and 200 not relevant, so I can break before the irrelevant data comes into the traverse mode. So the for each will go on traversing the irrelevant data without breaking up.
Okay.
That's the key. That is the difference between for each and the for loop. That's when there is irrelevant data, we use a for loop. When we need to break, return, something like that. Otherwise, we use a for each loop. And can you just tell me about if else ladder is a good coding practice or a bad coding practice?
If else ladder, basically it depends on the requirement. So usually I don't prefer to use this if else.
So what do you use instead of if else?
Okay, I will use this ternary operator.
Ternary, yeah. Ternary is better than if else. That if else ladder can create a confusion. But you can just terminate the if using a return after the body of the if, it will be an else condition.
Okay.
Let's move further. So what is a single page application?
Okay, the single page application is like so only one URL will be there. Like without loading the web page, the content should render in the web page. So that is the meaning of yeah.
So how Angular implements this thing? How Angular works on the Angular works on the SLA, right? So how it works in similar way? Can you just explain a brief?
Okay. So basically, when you create an Angular project, so only one component will be there, like app component. Inside the app component, we have a router outlet. So this router outlet will display all the content inside it. Means in the application. Suppose I have 10 components. So this router outlet will help us to display all the 10 components using this router outlet.
And so moving forward, tell me about the lazy loading.
Okay, lazy loading is like on demand. I'm going to load my content of the web page. Suppose I have 10 components. I want to, when the page loads, I have to load only 2 components. So what will happen when the application starts running? First 2 components will be get loaded. Okay, so what will happen? This will reduce the initial bundle size of the application and initial load size of the application. So the application will render very fastly. Suppose if I want to go to third component, when I click on the third component, then only that content will be rendered.
So what is the eagerly loading?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Eagerly loading.
Eagerly loading. No, not sure.
Yeah, it's just opposite of the lazy loading.
Lazy loading
the page in the first half. Okay. In starting of the when component created.
Okay.
Angular. Tell me about the Angular life cycle.
Okay. There are 8 life cycles are there. One is ng on changes, ng on it, ng do check, ng content on it, ng view on it, ng content check, ng view check, then ng on destroy.
So moving forward, how the components, if component having a parent-child relationship, how they communicate? How can we communicate them? Set up communication between the parent-child components.
Okay, we can use this input-output decorator to communicate between the parent and the child.
How input works?
Okay. See, I have a parent component. Inside that, I have a child component. Okay. I I want to pass a message from parent to child. Okay, I will declare a variable, input variable in the child component. Okay, and I will execute from my parent. So when I execute from my parent, so the message will come to the child, then it will render in the child component.
And tell me about the output decorator.
Okay, output decorator is like communicating from child to parent. So whenever something happened in the child component, or I want to pass a message to the parent component, then the output variable will emit an event. This event I am going to capture in my parent.
Yeah. You see, the thing is that just imagine if I want to execute some function which is located in the child component. How should I can do it?
You want to execute
some function. Just imagine there is function execute the code, something like that. I want that function is inside the child component. How can I use? How can I get execute that particular method from the parent?
Okay. So whenever something is passed to the child, then you can execute.
No, just imagine there is some event occurring in the parent component, and as for the event, I need to execute some code on the child component, some method. Let me see the method. Okay, I need to execute that method in the child. How can I do that?
Not try.
Yeah, it's a view child.
Okay, view child. Okay. Correct.
You can just see the view child from view child execute. You can just see the method of the child. You can directly execute it from the parent component. Okay.
Correct.
And
Yes.
tell me the difference between component and the directive.
Okay. So component is like it consists of a dormitory structure. Okay. Then directive is like it will add behavior to the elements.
Can you just go into a brief?
Okay. Okay. See, I have a component. Okay, and I have a directive where this directive will, for simplification, this directive will give some background color to the element wherever I am going to apply this directive. Okay, so I have a 10 divs in my component. I want to give a background color or some functionality using this directive. So what I will do, I will create my own directive and I will call this directive in my element. Okay, so that it will do the specific, it will meet our specific requirement.
Tell me about different events in the Angular.
Different events in Angular, like click function. Yeah. Click is there, on mouse over, then on selected is there in the drop downs, and on change is there.
Angular one itself, okay, the on selected or what the one you have said now, the mouse over. This is from the HTML side, okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Angular event.
On change is there. On change.
Just change is there. On change is from the HTML part itself. You can't find that.
Okay.
You can't using a binding with this small bracket around that. Yeah, two-way binding.
Sorry, two-way binding. NG model.
Yeah. How it works?
Okay. Two-way binding is like the communication happens between both HTML and the TypeScript file. Like suppose I'm changing something content in the UI, so the same thing will be reflected in my model in the TypeScript